Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I am Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Where are we today? We are in a beautiful central Washington location, driving halfway across the state on my way to the other side of the state later today, geeking out on Twitter and all that stuff when all of a sudden all kinds of news started popping up that there was going to be a major shakeup at the ATF. And this coming on the heels of yet more news as it relates to restructuring not only the ATF, but dismantling many of President Biden's gun control regulations. Big news today, though, as Kash Patel apparently is out. Daniel Driscoll is in. We'll talk more about that, plus a lot of other things. There's a lot happening right now with the ATF and the Department of Justice. So today, let's spend a few minutes and let's talk about a major shakeup at ATF. Is this good for gun owners? Okay, America, we got a lot to talk about and a little time to do it in. Okay, we are going to be first talking about major news that was broken by Reuters yesterday, which said that acting ATF Director Kash Patel is no longer the acting ATF Director and instead will be replaced now by Secretary of the Army Daniel Driscoll. We're going to go through Mr. Driscoll's background in a few minutes, and we're also going to talk about a statement that came out of the National Shooting Sports Foundation as it relates to that. In addition to that, yesterday we also found that Attorney General Bondi was now appointing a task force. I know how excited all of you get when we start talking about task force, but that task force would not only be looking at the pistol brace rule, but also the rule about what it means to be engaged in the business. And of course, this coming on the heels of finding out that the zero tolerance policy for FFL enforcement had already been recalled by the Department of Justice. So who is the new acting ATF Director Daniel Driscoll? Well, as I mentioned earlier, he currently is serving as Secretary of the Army. He is a graduate of the University of North Carolina. He is also a graduate of Yale Law School. Now, tried to do a bunch of geeking out, found a lot of typical stuff on it, but couldn't find a lot yesterday as I was trying to do research. Where does this guy truly come down on Second Amendment issues? However, our friends over at NSSF, the National Shooting Sports Foundation, they were quick to release a statement related to Mr. Driscoll being appointed as acting ATF Director. I want to read that statement so you can see at least where the firearms industry or the official spokespeople for the firearms industry was coming from on this move. NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association, congratulates Acting Director of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, Daniel P. Driscoll, whom President Donald Trump appointed to the position today. In addition to serving as the Secretary of Army, Acting Director Driscoll will oversee the bureau that regulates the lawful firearms industry in the United States. NSSF Senior Vice President Larry Keene was then quoted as saying, "President Trump's decision to appoint Acting Director Driscoll is indicative of his resolve to bring reform to the ATF and protect the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens and the industry that makes it possible to exercise those rights. NSSF is deeply appreciative of FBI Director Kash Patel's service to lead ATF as acting director for nearly 2 months in his interim role and the recognition, along with the U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi, that the ATF was weaponized by the previous administration to carry out a radical gun control agenda. The firearm industry is confident that President Trump's appointment of Acting Director Driscoll to lead the ATF will return the Bureau to its proper role as a law enforcement agency laser-focused on combating violent crime and illegal firearms trafficking, and to act as a nonpartisan regulator of the firearm industry." And then they conclude with this very strong supportive statement. NSSF is confident Acting Director Driscoll will view members of the firearm industry, including licensed retailers, as ATF partners on the front lines of keeping firearms out of the wrong hands, combating illegal firearms trafficking, and preventing violent crime involving the misuse of firearms. So that is obviously a very supportive statement from the folks over at NSSF. Now, what weight you want to attach to what they're saying, well, that is up to you. So we have a major shakeup in the ATF. Kash Patel is out, Mr. Driscoll is in. In addition to that, just yesterday we learned from Attorney General Bondi that a task force is being formed to start reviewing not only the remaining ATF rules that have not been touched, but all litigation that the United States Department of Justice is currently involved in. And candidly, while I'm a big fan of recalling the rules, the bigger damage that DOJ and ATF could do to Biden's gun control actually comes through changing positions in certain cases that are currently being litigated. So that's going to be very, very important to watch. Finally, we also got news that Marvin Richardson, who'd been with the ATF forever and had actually served as an acting director at one point, is now completely out of the ATF. And if you start reading between the lines on the story there, what got Mr. Richardson out of the ATF? Well, it was his maniacal pursuit of the pistol brace rule. As a matter of fact, stories are coming out now that as soon as President Biden had won the 2020 election, Mr. Richardson was already scheming plans and was very, very laser focused on going after pistol braces. Translation, turning a lot of lawful, responsible gun-owning Americans into felons overnight by just reclassifying their firearms as short barrel rifles. So, America, I don't know what's going on here with why Patel's out so quickly and Driscoll is in. We're going to have to do a lot more research to figure out what this guy's all about, but I'm interested to hear from you. What do you all think right now? Now, I know most of you are going to sit there and go, the DOJ and the ATF are not moving fast enough. And be honest with yourself for a second. Is there any speed in which they could actually move that would actually satisfy you? I think we need to recognize that this is government. Sometimes this is like turning around an aircraft carrier. But after a good month of a whole lot of nothing, we have suddenly seen a flurry of activities coming out of the Department of Justice as well as the ATF. There has not been a single move yet that any of us are frowning upon. So all of these moves, albeit small at the current time, are moving in the right direction. And therefore, I believe we are setting ourselves up for some significant and fundamental changes coming to the gun control regime in the very near future. Okay, listen, everything that we relied upon in making this video, we're going to go ahead and link it up down below in the description box. You don't have to take our word for it. You can geek out on it for yourself. If you got any questions about this or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights, you guys should know how to get a hold of Washington gun law by now. But if you don't, that's okay. That information, it's down there in the description box. If you got an idea for a video we should be doing around here, you click on that link right there and you tell us all about it. If you want to subscribe to the monthly newsletter, the ability to do all of that is down there in the description box. And then finally, and most importantly, America, let's everyone remember that part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation and how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. From our fantastic Central Washington location, thanks for watching and stay safe. So today we want to check out and see how secure StopBox really is. So we're heading over to one of the book clubs to have it tested by one of the most dangerous creatures known to man. That's right. I'm talking about the drunk suburban housewife.
You guys, your name is coming. It's
Oh, hey, ladies.
Oh, hey!
How's book club going?
Oh yeah, I have a shit ton of stuff.
You look like a Lolita.
No.
Lolita.
What is wrong with me?
Call me Steve, Jake. Ew. You look like a Hannah
Taylor. No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, with those lips, you're
100%
Lolita. Spicy.
Yeah.
Cumin.
Sorry.
Okay, ladies, got a little challenge for you here.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so listen, here's what I got. I got a $200 spa package to Willow's Lodge.
Ooh la la.
I got 2 days, 2 nights at Suncadia, $100 at Target,
Nice.
and $100 at Wine and More, because I know you could need that. So, any of you get into the box, it's yours. Have fun.
Okay, who wants to go first?
I can get in
Okay,
the box.
Beth. Get it, girl. Get it, girl. Come on.
Get that spa package. Oh! Yeah.
Come on. Ooh. Get it. Come on.
You gotta push all the buttons. You're doing the same thing over.
Come on.
You
I have to figure this out.
I just give up. I'm pouring more wine.
Give up?
Yeah, I give up.
All right, well,
You didn't pour me any.
close, but looks like they're all mine. Thank you, ladies.
What?
StopBox. Protect your family while protecting your family.